Welcome back to Poor Man Printing, guys. And today I'm going to bring you a very interesting question on the AMA that I just live streamed. I don't know, but I appreciate everybody in the live stream, and I'm sorry that the computer crashed. I don't know what happened, but I do appreciate everybody in there. The AMA was actually pretty good from what part I did catch. I think I did catch the best question of the night, and let's go ahead and listen straight to it, guys.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Reese. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you there, mate.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, before I ask my question, I just want to say really quickly that you're just the greatest spokesman ever. I love watching your videos. You're so interactive, so likable. You're just a lovely guy. Dan, thank you for all the hard work you do. I know some people complain that they think things are going too slowly. I know that you're working your tail off to make this work. We believe in you. I can tell you that about 90% of my crypto assets are locked up and about 20 million owe me. I believe.
Y'all hear that? Let me rewind that real quick.
In you. I can tell you that about 90% of my crypto assets are locked up and about 20 million owe me.
The man has got 20 million on me. Now, some of y'all might think, oh, that's nothing. But to me, I'm sitting there holding like 4 million and 20 million. Hello. That's like a whale, straight up whale to me. I mean, I wish I had 20 million, but that is huge.
I believe in this project. 90% of what I have is in this project, and I just support you guys. So this is my question. I have two really. One is, when will you use this opportunity, this transition to immutable? Are you going to use this opportunity to potentially deal with what has been a constant kind of source of concern, which is the idea that there are too many OMI tokens, basically, is 750 billion or 450 billion. Is this an opportunity for you to leave a substantial amount potentially behind?
And we all know there's a lot of tokens, but keep listening because Dan answers it pretty well. He really does.
And how much would you be willing to leave behind, if that's even an option? Just basically that. And then the second question I have is, when the transition is complete.
Yeah, I got excited in that question.
What is the implication for timing on decisions around when we're going to see new exchanges like Binance and KuCoin? And if you could give us a bit of a more concrete timetable about when this swap that we're all talking about for the ERC20 tokens will actually open, because some of us are really antsy to get these tokens swapped so that we can keep them in our cold wallet. Thank you.
That's a hell of a question. That's what everybody wants to hear in the AMA tonight. I can guarantee you. And he asked the question perfect. I wouldn't be able to ask that question like that. One, because I've been drinking too much, probably. Now, some people are just better at asking questions in a better format than I am. I'm country as hell, so it is what it is. I'm used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So so just to address the second question around the exchanges, obviously, from our side in the company, actually, sorry, just to step back, thank you so much for your support and the kind words. It is, most of the time people don't come to the fore with such positive affirmations about what we're doing. So I really do appreciate that. Now, when it comes to exchanges, obviously right now, one of the other factors that we want to move over to immutable or something that's Ethereum based is that it opens up significantly wider options when it comes to listing on exchanges. Obviously, if we're an ERC20, that is very well, or it's ubiquitous basically across the exchange network. So it's going to make it a lot easier for us to onboard with these exchanges. Right now, we are still absolutely in discussion with exchanges that list GoChain. And one of the things that we just need to consider on our side is that we are right in the middle of this migration. So we really have to decide where we're going to focus our efforts. Do we want to continue working?
I say I brought this up, like I knew that they wouldn't go to any kind of different exchange while they're still on Go20. I mean, we all know this because for what? Well, what was the exchange that they was talking about going to? I forgot the name of it, but it was a low exchange. Like it wouldn't do nothing. It probably dropped their price out. Let me tell you the truth. Something Bitmart, I believe that's it. Yeah, Bitmart. What is that? Look that exchange up. That exchange is so low. I mean, it's actually under Bitforex. I mean, come on, what's that tell you? So I didn't expect any exchange coming before we go to Immutable X, and I still don't. Even though he's talking, you know, a pretty good game, like you could possibly see it, but keep listening because no, we're not going to another exchange, not until we swap over.
Hard on what is ultimately going to be legacy, you know, with GoChain, or are we just going to focus on, you know, the future and what's moving forward? So I know that has always been a point of contention for our OMI holders. But I think the biggest takeaway from this is that the reason, you know, one of the core reasons we are doing this migration is to make it significantly easier for us to onboard with different exchanges.
And we know this because when they actually said something about going to Bitmart or whatever it is, they said they have problems with the Go20 exchange with Bitmart. So yeah, Bitmart was going to be the next exchange, which wasn't going to do nothing. But yeah, with us going to Ethereum, Immutable X, I mean, the sky's the limit, bro. Coinbase, KuCoin, we're talking Binance. I'd rather have Coinbase because I can actually buy Coinbase. I can buy stuff on Coinbase in Texas. Binance, I can't. So yeah, I really want Coinbase.
And as David and I have always mentioned, you know, by the end of this year, you know, our plan is still to be on 3, 4, 5 major exchanges, and
3, 4, 5 major exchanges. Like a lot of people's like, man, when's Omega gonna do something? Like, dude, it's coming. You just got to have them diamond hands. You got to hold out. I mean, this is real world activity here. These guys here ain't playing around. I mean, they're actually doing it the right way. Licenses and everything else. All this stuff takes time. We've talked about this.
Once this migration takes place, that is going to be significantly easier for us. So yeah, stay tuned on that. We are still in the negotiations and in the discussions with exchanges. So we obviously want to make that happen as well.
All right, Dan, come on, bring it on. Let's hear that answer, Dan. Come on.
Now to go back to the OMI, I mean, right now during this migration, we aren't going. It's more than likely we won't, you know, burn any or leave any behind.
There it is. That you can see my reaction, a reaction for a reaction. How about that, guys? But keep listening. Like it had me down a little bit, but just keep listening.
Because we just want to make sure that this, you know, even though on the sort of the immutable, the blockchain side, it's a fairly easy transition, but because the token is so heavily integrated into the app, there are a number of different complexities around the migration. Obviously, none that are insurmountable. It's really just making sure that we have everything nailed down on our side. So when we do the transition, everything's going to go perfectly as it does in the world of development.
So from what I've gathered here, that it is just pretty much what he said. The token is so integrated with the app that it's going to be almost impossible to actually leave tokens behind. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but they know something. They know something behind the scenes is working. And y'all know we haven't heard this 12 out of 10 announcement yet. So something in the background is cooking up, guys. I'm telling you right now. And when they announce it, Holy Grail, baby.
So as I'm sure Robbie can attest to. Now, so yeah, right now during this transition we won't be leaving any behind. We have considered something along the lines of you know, doing a 10-to-1 or sorry, 100-to-1 or something like that. So perceivably, it doesn't seem like there is so many out there in the total circulating supply. But I think just remember that
See, I'm not familiar on this, so if y'all want to leave comments down below, the 100-to-1 type deal, I don't know if it help or hurt, tell you the truth.
Really, the supply is everything that's outside the reserve, the Burn wallet, the Vault wallet. And while that number still may seem, you know, significantly high when we talk about, you know, 300 billion or 400 billion, you know, even if we were to do a, you know, 100-to-1 or something like that, ultimately there's still going to be the same amount of tokens out there in the circulating supply. So, our real focus between now and the end of the year is absolutely to just make sure we can instill as much utility into the token. And as you guys probably know, we recently announced that that we are working on the OMI directly to NFT, so no one has to worry about doing gems or anything like that, or converting their OMI to gems and then getting NFT. That is sort of the phase one of bringing.
Well, that's good. I mean, we all know that was coming, but yeah, keep listening. He got a little gem in there.
Utility into the token. And then obviously as we move further forward, there'll be things like, staking for the Master Collector program, using OMI to buy specific collectibles directly in the store, even potentially offering discounts to.
There it is. Discounts using OMI to buy NFTs. Who don't like discounts? They're going to make this token where everybody's going to want to buy OMI for some reason. If it's Master Collector, early access, if it's just to hold and, make some money in the long run, a lot of money, in-game, upgrades, and like you said, discounts. This is what had me happy. I was sad because about the tokens not being left behind, and I didn't know if they would or not. But now I feel a lot better listening to what Dan has to say, because they're not going to leave us OMI holders behind. They're going to look out for us. Reese is going to look out for us. I'm Team Reese. He's the crypto man, and I'm a crypto man, I'm Team Reese. But yeah, we're gonna see a lot of utilities with this token. So just hang in there, guys. Hang in there, because I'm telling you, a lot of good things is about to start happening.
To people who are spending in OMI rather than in fiat. And just, really making sure that there is some really strong and solid utility to the token there. All of this stuff has been on the roadmap for quite a long time. And I think anyone who's on the call who's been following BB for a long time, knows that we really went through 4 months of just holy shit, we've got 200% or 2,000% more users than we thought we would. And we've had to really focus on a lot of, re-engineering in the back end to deal with the demand. So now that is all kind of in place, we're moving forward with things like the, migration to immutable, building in this extra kind of token utility. In terms of the timeline for the immutable migration, please, take this with a grain of salt, because, like I say,
definitely take this with a grain of salt. We know this, guys. It's a lot of delays and stuff.
Shit just happens in development, and sometimes things just take a little bit longer. So, which is why I don't normally like to, discuss timeframes. But we are tentatively, it will more than likely be happening between the end of July and the end of August, is when we will start to have, when everything will be in place and the token swap site will be up and so forth. So, end
of July, end of August. He throwed in a 2-month period in there, guys. So yeah, well, actually 2.5 months. But keep listening. We all know it's delays and everything.
Really, it's only another 1 month or 1.5 months. In the real world, that's 6 weeks. In the world of crypto, 2,000 years. We have 2 feet. We have 2 feet in the crypto world and in the real world. So, as a real world business, we actually move very fast. In the crypto space, unless we're bringing something out, hour on hour, it seems like you're a bit of a dinosaur. But yeah, please be rest assured that we are, working very hard on these things in the back end.
There you go, guys. I wanted to bring you this before all the FUD started on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Before the FUD got to you, they said they're not leaving no tokens behind. This is trash. OMI's scam coin. Y'all heard it right here. The VV team, Reese, Dan, David, Trevor, they're not going to leave us behind, guys. I'm telling you that right now. They are looking out for us OMI holders and us collectors, and they're bringing them all together. Just like he said, using the token for utilities, early access, master collector, upgrades. That's how this token is going to move, guys. New exchanges is going to be great, and it's going to be a good pump And then we'll probably drop down 50% of that pump. That's usually how it works in the real world. But when the burns start, we got what? A little over 300,000. We got Comic-Con coming up. All right. It's 5 in a non-COVID year. Comic-Con usually has over 500,000 people in those doors. I believe it's 2 to 3 days. I can't remember. You are looking at a lot more people getting on the app. You got Superman that's dropping tomorrow. You got Slimer dropping. Now, I heard this in the AMA, but take this with a grain of salt. I believe he said 6 p.m. Pacific time. Go back through there and watch it. I think it was around on my live around, I don't know. I'll have to go look through it. This is the one question here that I remembered exactly where it was at, because this is the one I wanted answered. But I'm pretty sure he said it was 6, and they'll drop something tomorrow. So we're going to have our first night drop, our first 2 different drops. We got Superman and Slimer. I think there's, I can't remember exactly what he said. I believe he said it was 5,500 Slimers. And then we got, what, 8,888 Superman dropping. So it's going to be 2 drops tomorrow. Good luck, people. But guess what? Poor man printing, I'll be off work with his Wi-Fi for Mr. Slimer. So I'm getting Mr. Slimer. I'm going to tell you that right now. I want Slimer more than I want Superman. Just because, I'm like, I was born in 1977. So I'm like 21, I believe. Yeah. So 21. And I grew up with Ghostbusters. And I love Ghostbusters. But yeah, so there you go. Poor man printing brought you the bullcrap FUD that everybody's about to start up, because I know it's about to start up. And you heard it right there. You heard it right there. So don't feel left behind. Poor man printing.